Hey, I'm Chris, and if you're a digital business owner, an online founder who runs a digital-first business, you're going to want to watch this video because we'll be talking about optimizing for income versus equity value and the pros and cons of each of them. And if you're an online founder, there's a chance that you are unintentionally, without knowing, building a machine, a business that will eventually burn you out and lead you to lose your energy, your vitality, and get trapped in that business, which nobody wants to happen. And unfortunately, if this does happen, you're going to have a very, very risky business that you're never going to be able to step away from, never sell, and it's going to constantly drain your time, energy, and resources, which we don't want that to happen. We want to be able to build something that you can step away from or sell. You can step away from it, reclaim your energy, or step away from it and still get paid from it. So, I want to show you the difference between income thinking and equity thinking, and why income thinking alone will keep you trapped while equity thinking will eventually lead to your freedom, your energy, and the ability to have multiple million dollar exits. So there's a problem that most online founders will eventually find themselves facing at some point in their business life cycle, assuming that you sell things like online education, online information, expertise-based services. And that is, at some point, you will need to start stepping back from your business and creating some value which you can sell. Unfortunately, most people don't start this way because it's impractical to start this way. Most people start these businesses as a new career path, a way to gain new skills and to optimize for income, which is very, very important in the early stages of starting your business. But the later you start to adopt this equity and value creation mindset, the harder it is to execute. So it's better to get on this bandwagon and at least understand the principles so you can build and systemize your business in this way so that when you make that transition to having a high income stream to having something that's a genuine wealth creating asset that can give you financial and, well, all sorts of freedoms, it's easier to start as soon as possible. So if you are one of these online founders, you might have a couple of problems in that you make a great income and your business works, but the moment you step away, your business will crumble, whether that's delivery, lead generation, marketing, ideation, operations, management, etc. And that's because your business depends on you. And if it depends on you, it can't survive beyond you. And it definitely cannot sell for these high valuation exits that we see. 8 figures, multiple 8 figures, multiple 7 figures, etc. And the impact of this long term, if you're not optimizing for building your business in this way, is you're going to leave money on the table. Money in the form of a wealth event. So an investor or an acquirer buys your business off you for 13, 14, 15 million pounds and bang, all of a sudden you have a $15 million check in your account. You're also going to spend years and years building something with zero value, zero equity value. And I think really if you spend so much time building something, you kind of want to have something to show for it at the end, or at least that's what I would like, and I'm sure many people share this sentiment as well. Your business's revenue is also going to be dependent on you if you're not building for equity, because if you step away, it's going to, well, it probably will survive for a couple of months, but it won't be able to survive for multiple years without you. And if you can't step away, you can't pursue new opportunities. Say you have an idea for a software business which has much more upside, or you want to split your time and maybe start any other type of business really, or any other opportunity you want to pursue. Maybe you have family issues that you need to attend to. For some reason, life gets in the way, or you want to explore new opportunities. You won't easily be able to pursue new opportunities because your presence is so critical to the performance of your business. And finally, if you aren't building for equity value, if you're optimizing for income, your business typically is only as strong as the reach of your content. Meaning if you have a great month in terms of content, you're going to bring in a lot of leads. If your content the following month or quarter or half year is less good, you're probably going to be bringing in much fewer leads. And that leads to peaks and troughs in revenue. And ideally you want that consistent predictability. So, why is this important? Well, because a very common business today is selling information online, whether this is coaching products, whether this is educational products, whether this is expertise-based services. It's become a very popular business. But Most founders never mature beyond this entry-level style of building these businesses. They get stuck in the mindset of an owner-operator. And what that means is it limits your scale, your revenue, your personal energy because it drains you, and ultimately your asset value. Which means you're never really going to reach that full potential of what your business could become. You see these really big businesses that are doing like 20 million, 30 million, 50 million, $100 million in revenue that started quite small. Your business could become like that with systems that still allow you to detach and not consume all of your time. And I think the opportunity with online businesses, because of how scalable they are, particularly ones that sell products with a low marginal cost of replication, are ripe for this opportunity. So let's talk about the two methods that you can pursue. There's optimizing for income, which, as I say, is super high profits. You get a lot of personal cash flow. They're easier to run and they're fast to build, but you're the product, you're the value. You are the system, you have zero exit value as well, so you can't really step away. Your business dies when you step away, and the lead generation and delivery of value to your clients is highly dependent on you, which means if you disappear for 3 months, your clients aren't going to be continuing to get that value. You need to find a way, which we'll talk about, to ensure that leads and value delivery can survive independently of you. You can also optimize for equity, so you build systems that survive without you, removing you from the daily operations. You can have a business that you can sell, create asset value and wealth creation ability. This means you aren't the business. You're not the bottleneck in the business. You own the business and you simply oversee it rather than run it on a daily basis. And this is the kind of thinking that creates life-changing wealth. It's the kind of thinking that will have an email land in your inbox saying, hey, I'd like to buy your business for 17.5 million. And then you can decide to invest in property. You can decide to invest in startups. You can decide to start a new business. It basically just gives you huge sums of money that you cannot, well, you can, but it's much more difficult to create those sums of money in income than it is in exits. So how do you switch this thinking pattern? Well, there's a couple of questions you can ask. How does this business run without me? How do I remove myself from delivery? And what systems, people, or processes can I implement in my business that create transferability? By transferability, we mean a business that you can run, that Joe Blogs can run, that Hannah from the street can run, that anybody can run. You can hand over the keys to somebody who wants to buy your business or wants to run your business, and because there's systems and documentation and processes in place that don't depend on you and that don't have you as the bottleneck, somebody else can do exactly what you do. And if they can do that, it makes it transferable. Transferability is what creates so much equity value. So if you want to do this, you'll need to build systemized delivery. This can be training other people to deliver your product, have value delivery that doesn't depend on you. You need to document your processes, everything from operations to lead gen to marketing, hiring, etc. Ideally, you also need a brand that exists outside of your personal image. So for example, if you were to sell professional skills education, you could build a brand around that people associate the value with, rather than them associating that value entirely with you. And ultimately, this gives you a product that doesn't depend on your live presence. You also need predictable growth engines, so things that aren't entirely related to your personal brand content output. Of course, this is fantastic. It's so scalable. It's so low cost. It builds trust. It's fantastic. It's a super, super, super important part of your business. But ideally, if you can remove your face from that content output, it's great. You see a couple of, I can't remember the names of them at the moment, but I see them all over Instagram. I think it's like SLMN Official, something like this. It's like a men's fashion magazine. They have all of their employees creating content for them, and it still creates that feeling of connection with the brand, but the founder's nowhere to be seen. You can do this as well. It's a really easy way to still create that trust without it being dependent on you. And finally, you need to package and defend your intellectual property. This is really what's super, super scalable and what can really drive your valuation up sky high. I'm going to be making a post separately, a video separately on how you can do this, because it's a topic in of itself. But those key principles are the difference between building a job that owns you and building an asset that you can sell and create tons and tons of wealth in a single event for. That's it for now, but if you are a digital entrepreneur, you should follow my page, because there's going to be much more videos that are going to help you turn your business from an income generating asset to a life-changing wealth creation asset that you can detach from, and that becomes like a legacy creation thing as well. So hopefully that proposition is one that entices you if it does follow the page, and I will see you soon.